Rand Water says level 1 restrictions for Gauteng will remain in place. The water utility says its Eikenhof system, is under severe pressure. It's urging residents to use water sparingly. Some experts say the continuous stage 6 power cuts may have contributed to the water supply challenges. For more on this, we'll joined this morning by Rand Water's spokesperson, Makenosi Maroo. It's great to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed for coming on to the program. And you'll remind us, Makenosi, about when we last had outages from Rand Water, and the statement that I have in front of me was in August, so quite recent, and that was due to maintenance.
That's correct. Good morning, Michelle, and good morning to your viewers. Yes, the previous statement that we issued, it was due to maintenance. Remember, we were looking after our infrastructure to ensure that we are able to supply water. But at the current moment, what we are facing is high consumption due to high temperatures. So we are still supplying the liters that we normally supply as rainwater, but the consumption is too high.
That's worrying, isn't it, Makenosi? Because it's not like we've had that much warm weather in Gauteng over the past month or so?
It's not that much, but just the beginning of spring, it's the beginning of our peak season. Mm-hmm. So we are noticing the high consumption. So we are throwing that caution to users to say, please use water sparingly so that we don't strain our distribution network.
Mm. So what does level 1 water restrictions actually mean? Are you depending on residents to follow the instruction to reduce their usage?
Yes. We are depending on residents. At this stage, it's municipalities who are introducing restrictions and levels. We have up to level 6. At the moment, we're talking about level 1. Here, we're talking about not watering your garden between, so you can water your garden between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. So we're saying when it's too hot, don't water your garden. So you are not allowed to water between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. from the 1st of September up until the 31st of March. But also we're saying don't use your hose to clean your surface, like you're paving. When you wash your car, don't use your hose. Use a bucket to clean your car. Yep. So that's for level 1. If all it fails, we move to level 2. But it's still at municipal level at the moment.
And if indeed residents don't follow these instructions, is there a situation where there could be a penalty if we see that your usage is much higher and we are in the midst of level 1 restrictions?
Remember, as rainwater, we're working with bulk water meters. So if it has to be restrictions and it has to be penalties, that will be at municipal level.
Right.
What we're doing now as rainwater, we are really identifying these bulk meters that are consuming a lot of water. And we are talking to municipalities. We're saying, please speak to your residents so that we don't get to a stage where we have to introduce the restrictions ourselves as rainwater.
I'm getting a question here from one of our viewers about burst pipes, and there are several reports. If you just go onto social media, Makenosi, several reports on any given day of burst pipes, particularly in the Joburg area. Is that surely not also a contributor to what you've identified as high consumption?
It is contributing, because remember when we're using an integrated system. So as we supply water to municipalities, from rainwater side, we see that as clean water that has been supplied to a particular municipality. Where it ends, it might end at consumers' tap, or it might end in the streets. I know that some of the municipalities are really trying to fix what is broken to really maintain their infrastructure. Yeah. But it does contribute.
Yeah, it's a major challenge, and sometimes it does take an inordinate amount of time to get someone out there to fix those burst pipes. We've talked about load shedding before, the power crisis really playing into the water crisis, because technically we're always in a water crisis, right? We are a water scarce nation as it is. But how much is load shedding impacting the systems insofar as water is concerned?
We are fortunate as rainwater. We had an agreement with power suppliers. So where we purify water, that's our primary station. So it would be the Vereeniging and Suikerbosch. We have an agreement. We don't get load shedding. However, from time to time, there are power trips. If we have those power trips, we have that agreement. They come out, the call out time actually has been shortened, so they do come out to assist. Even at our booster stations where we supply water to various municipalities, we also have an agreement. However, at our smaller stations, at our tertiary stations, we don't have an agreement. So we use generators. We rely on diesel to supply water. So we spend a lot of money on generator when there is load shedding for our tertiary pump stations.
Yeah. Level 1 restrictions from the 1st of September and for quite a long time up until the 31st of March 2024. And of course, level 1 might change depending on the water situation, Makenosi.
That's correct. Michelle, also I want to maybe dispel the notion. Somebody was asking me the other day that does it mean rainwater does not have enough water? We abstract over 4,900 megalitres per day to supply to different areas. We are actually exceeding that number. So in terms of supplying, we are continuing to supply, but the consumption is too high.
Makenosi Maroo, let me thank you for your time this morning. Rand Water's spokesperson, level 1 restrictions in place for Gauteng residents.